morning again. How are you?
Good morning, I'm okay.
Okay. I think our candidate for Miss James for interview is actually sitting in the lobby. So I'm going to ask you if you just go and invite her in, could you please?
Good morning, Miss James. Nice to meet you. Coming for the interview. You can sit.
Good morning, Miss James. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Okay, good to have you.
Thank you.
Okay. My name is Olivia Northope. As you know, I'm the principal of Early Learning Center. We have Miss King here with us. She's our senior teacher, so she's joining us for the interview. So at some point during the interview session, she will have probably a few questions for you. Is that okay? Okay, good. All right, but
Fair enough. It's how about the CV?
So Miss James, you probably just want to start off by just telling us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name is Kanisha James, as I already mentioned. I am a early childhood educator for over 6 years, and I did my studies at the St. Joseph Teachers College. Okay. The early childhood environment is not new to me, as I already mentioned that I have experience in that field. And working with children is my pleasure, and I enjoy working with children.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, tell us, how do you create a very positive and nurturing and inclusive classroom environment?
Okay, so I created a all-inclusive nurturing classroom by showing respect. So we also lead by example. So when I came in the morning, I greet my students, good morning, Amoya, how are you? Good morning, John, how are you? And we also shows respect and also empathy and learn how to care for each other.
Because that is very important. Okay. And tell me, what are some of the strategies that you would use to support children social, their emotional and cognitive development, and even the physical aspect of it as well?
Okay, so my strategy is empathy, and we show love to each other, and also communication, and also we learn each other to show respect to each other. And as children, we deserve respect as much as adults.
Okay, great. Here at the Early Learning Center, we focus a lot on play-based activities. And that requires actually getting down to the children's level and being very playful in trying to bring out the lesson. Tell me, how comfortable are you with the play activities that you require?
Well, I am an open-minded person. I don't mind being creative for my students. I don't mind being a cartoon character. I don't mind being a Disney princess. I show different characteristics in my stories or my plays. So I'm a very creative person, and I also learn my children different skills.
Activities, yeah. So you get down on the ground with them and you play with them.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I think Miss Ting just have a few questions for you as it relates to classroom management. So
Establish an organized classroom if we are here.
Alright, so I would establish an organized classroom by showing different learning objects, different practical objects, like we have our story time, we have our
the circuit time.
time to circle times. I know we have different activities to accommodate each curriculum, so basically.
And how the routine work for you?
So, we go by a schedule. We have our timetable, our daily schedule. During the day, we start with devotion in the mornings, along with circle time. Then, if we have English, we start our English. So, we go by schedule and our timetable.
Okay, no problem. Another question is, how would you manage a child with behavioral issue, challenging and refusal for participating in class activity? What would you do?
Okay, so my key strategy is active listening and also listen to the both sides of the story, and sometimes use reinforcements, use rules, do not speak loud in the class, do not hit each other. So we have our rules, do and don't rules, so we go along with those.
No, I have one more last question.
Well, okay, go ahead.
How do you encourage positive behavior?
So how do I encourage positive behavior? Like praises, when they do something good in class, you give them one token, or let's just sticker to say, Amaya was quiet in class today. Amaya helped with duties today. Encourage them. I also use a reward chart. I give them reward on the chart with the names on it. And one of those chocolates.
All right. Okay. All right. Ms. James, our parents are an important part of the school family here, and we try to make sure that we involve them, and make sure that we communicate with them on a regular basis. Tell me, what are some of the methods you think you would be using to communicate with parents? Because some of these parents can be very fussy.
Okay, so we can communicate with parents during our WhatsApp group. We have our daily notifications if there's anything important, and we can go along with our regular parents-teachers meeting, and also to get parents to involve in special, activities in school, like invite them to our outings, or if there's any special event at school, we could also invite them in. So,
Okay. Okay. All right. We'll probably just one or two more questions. Outside of the classroom, we here at the Early Learning Center is a family, and we try to make sure that we have a working relationship with our co-workers. How are you as a team player? How do you get along with the other persons that you work with?
okay, I thanks for mentioning a team player. I am also a team player and a team leader. So we communicate by, face-to-face communication, sending out a WhatsApp message or an email, if there's any difficulty with getting a message to each other. Also positive reinforcement, if you can't come in today, you call and say, look, I am not coming in today. Or, if there's any misunderstanding, we have our regular staff meeting, we can communicate through meetings. And also, if there's anything that arises, you have your principal, you can go, or your supervisor, you can go.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Last question. Having heard from you and you hearing from us, tell me, why should we employ Ms. James as our K2 class teacher?
Okay, I believe that I will be an asset to your institutions. As I mentioned, I also have my experience and my qualifications, and I work well with children. Also, my colleague, I'm also a team leader, and I do believe I'll be a positive asset to your institution.
Okay, great. All right. Okay, Ms. James, you've heard from us. Do you have any questions that you want to ask?
Yes, I would like to ask, as a principal, if you provide any, reassurance for persons who might be facing difficulties or, overwork, overload, even the stress, like the daily stress, you go through it with, your work, and, if you provide any reassurance or counseling for your
Good question. Okay.
employees.
All right. Well, as principal, I have an open door policy. You can always come to my office when you're having issues and discuss any challenges that you have. We know that it can be a very stressful environment, and sometimes you need to just take a break. We do ensure that our admin staff, at least our administrator, is also a trained teacher. So in the event of any issue and you need to be outside of the classroom, there's always somebody who can fill in. And just tell us, we have counselors on call if you're having issues, if you are feeling overwhelmed. There is a counselor who is attached to the institution that we can just reach out to if you figure you need some professional help. And we encourage you to take breaks, and relax. I know these children sometimes really, but when you see the need to just take a break, come to my office, and you have your colleagues that you work with. They are very flexible. If they need to jump in at any time to help you, feel free. That's why we try to build a very warm relationship with coworkers, so you guys can just feed off each other and help each other. Thank you. Okay, all right. I think that's it. Miss Kane? Okay. Yeah, so we want to thank you for taking time to come to us today. We usually respond within a week, so you can listen out to our call from us, and we will let you know if your application was successful. Okay, all right, then you can show yourself.
Nice to meet you.
Same. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Yes.
She's on the today, we think.
Yes, but even though she missed out on points here and there.
Yeah, but sometimes the environment is kind of nerve-wracking.
And we are teaching environment.
Oh, exactly. So, we don't expect everybody to come into us, perfect, having all the requirements. But as you say, other teachers will help to kind of bring up that. All right, so we have one more candidate for the week. So once we've had that interview, then we will just reach out to the successful candidate. All right, so it's okay. Thanks again. We can go back to your classroom. I need to reach out to Miss James. She was our successful candidate, so I need to give her a call. Let me just check for her number. Hi, Miss James. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Thanks for answering. Have what I think is good news for you. We have selected you as our new K2 class teacher. So congrats, and we look forward to welcoming you at our next session, which is going to be our orientation.
Thank you.
So thanks again, and all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Wait for her to come in. Just gonna have to, good morning, Miss King, and special morning to Miss James.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm sure you've met a few of the other staff members, but this is our formal orientation session. Just to probably go through some of the other details that you would require to know as our new kid on the block. We we are delighted to have you to join the team here at our Early Learning Center. So, welcome again. Okay. Of course, today's session is really just to help you to become familiar with our policies and our procedures, and to tell you a few things that's expected of you. And Ms. King, I was just about to tell you, jump in if you think I'm missing anything.
Yes, and I will give you the tour of the school.
Okay, yes, she's anxious to take you around to this school, okay? But just to, remind you of what we are about here at the Early Learning Center. For us, is about social and emotional development, language and literacy skills, the early numeracy concept, using creative expression, of course, physical development, and positive character building, and making sure that we prepare them and they are ready to move into to school. So those are just, what it is that we are about at the Early Learning Center. What are going to be your responsibilities as the K2 teacher? Of course, the key responsibility, of course, is planning and implementing age-appropriate lessons and activities, creating a very positive and engaging classroom environment, monitoring and documenting children development and progress, and I stress the documenting. It's important that we keep records of all that's happening. Ms. King, I'm sure, will walk you through some of the forms. I know some of it will be new to you, but we're not going to just throw you out in the deep. So, Ms. King, I'll assign her as your mentor, right? And she will help you to walk through some of those details. It's important in communicating effectively with our parents and guardians, and collaborating with your fellow teachers and support staff, okay? And pretty much just upholding the center policies and professional standards. We will provide you with the handbook that will give you a little bit more detail of exactly what is required here at the Early Learning Center. Think I'm missing anything, Ms. King? Okay. Of course, we have our daily routines, and again, I'll ask Ms. King to just walk you through all of that. Okay, is there anything you're not certain about that you want to highlight here? Okay. Yeah, right. And you will learn the ropes as you go through. Just remember, the issue of safety is very, very important. So we have to make sure, as you're familiar with the environment, working with kids, so we have to make sure that they are supervised at all times. Okay. We expect to have positive behavior guidance. So we want you to model, positive attitudes, because these kids, they are like sponge. They just soak up everything. So I know that it can be difficult sometimes, but just remember that they are watching, and as much as possible to display those positive attitudes. Okay. I think in a nutshell, that's it. Ms. King is going to give you the tour, show her where the staff room is, and just let her feel comfortable. Alright?
Okay.
Alright, so we will be seeing each other quite a bit. Alright? Enjoy your stay here at the Early Learning Center.
Thank you.
Alright. And have fun.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Where's James? Just started teachers for joining. This is our first staff meeting for the school year. I'm just gonna quickly go through what it is that's on the agenda for today. Of course, big on the agenda, introduction of our new K-12 teacher, Ms. James.
Welcome, Ms. James, and thank you for
Again,
having me.
okay, we'll just ask the rest of the staff, I know you've met informally, but to just have a formal introduction here of the rest of the staff, we'll probably just highlight a few of the upcoming, events here. We do have quite a bit of events here at the school, so, we'll just name a couple of things that we'll be having, and, probably just to hear from the staff, closing remarks as to any concerns that you have. So again, will introduce myself. My name is Olivina Dova, and I'm the principal here at the Early Learning Center.
I'm Daniel King, senior teacher.
Senior teacher and your new best friend. Okay? Okay. I think let me just glance back at the agenda quickly. Okay. In the interest of time, I probably won't go in, let's learn the order of the agenda, but what comes to mind now is just to let you know of some of the activities that we're going to be having for the year. We have two very important things that the kids look to. We have Boys Day, and we have Girls Day, yes. And then our big event is during the Christmas, right? Christmas was a couple months away when we'll be having our Christmas bazaar, right? And that's a fundraising activity for the school, so we look forward. We have a committee, we're gonna ask that, Ms. King incorporate Ms. James on maybe one of the committee, whether to organize for the Girls' Day or Boys' Day. Alright, so those are some of the upcoming events that we will be having. Am I missing anything? Again, we probably just go through quickly the K2 program that we have here, just in the interest of Ms. James, and some of the team expectation. We encourage open communication, teamwork, and of course we have a child-centered approach in all that we do. We maintain high standards of professionalism, and we do that very well here at the Early Learning Center. We support our student growth and development, and building positive relationships with parents and colleagues. Okay, and of course participating actively in the school events and initiative, which is why I went through that first, because it takes a lot of planning, and it takes the involvement of all the staff, who I know is already stressed with your classroom. I'm gonna leave the floor open now for any questions, because I know you need to get back to the classrooms.
So, please, what about the students who are not participating in swimming? We have a less amount of students doing the swimming each week. What should we do?
Well, we did send out to the parents, swimming, some parents are probably not too keen on their kids, going to the pool. I know it's a problem when we don't have enough, because then we need the funds to pay our swimming instructor. So we'll probably send another circular out, and just remind the parents that we do have swimming. What date is that we have swimming on again?
Now,
On a Wednesday, okay. So we'll send that out again and just see what kind of a response that we get. If we're not getting enough, we might just have to shift the kids into another activity. Yeah, I know, especially as we have this special ed class. Yes, that's very important. So we probably need to reach out specifically to the parents for our special ed, and just probably remind them. I'll probably have a little workshop with them you know, and to just show them the benefits of the swimming activity, especially for those kids. So good idea, Miss King. So I think that's it. So thanks again. Our meetings are scheduled quarterly, so I will give you enough notice and advise you of when is our next. How is it so far for you here, Mrs. James?
It's been good so
It's been
far,
good?
yes, and I have been, feel warm and welcome back
okay.
to the Rainbow family, and thanks for the appreciation.
Okay, all right, okay, good. All right, thanks, guys. Miss King, I can't believe it's Miss James. I can't believe it's 3 months. 3 months already since you've joined us here.
Yes,
Okay.
time flies, can I tell
Oh,
you?
tell me. Okay, but good to have you at your first evaluation session. And we would have gone through, I know your supervisor, our senior teacher went through with you on the areas that we appraise you on. But I'll just quickly run through them. Of course, we're looking at your classroom management. We're looking at teaching and learning. We're looking at student development, communication and teamwork. And we have graded you on those areas. Alright, so I know you were aware of the areas that you were going to be appraised on. So let's start with classroom management. Good score there. We know that your interaction with students have been caring, very respectful, and encouraging, helping them to feel comfortable and engaged in the classroom. So good job there. Keep it up. Okay. As it relates to teaching and learning, we have observed that students are actively participating in classroom activities and responding positively to your teaching methods. Yes, so they're having fun with you, so good job. Staff development, the children are becoming more independent and confident in their daily activities under your guidance. So good job there. As it relates to your communication and teamwork, you have worked collaboratively with colleagues and support staff and have maintained professional communication with parents and guardians. Note too that your willingness to seek feedback and continue positive to the school community, and that is appreciated. So just to highlight your areas of strength, okay? Areas of strength for you: positive relationship with students, effective class organization and routines, enthusiasm and dedication to teaching, very good, professional conduct and reliability, and very strong collaboration with your colleagues. Okay, so we highlight your some areas for growth. We note further differentiating instruction to meet your varying learning needs of students, because we have, children at various levels of development. Enhancing assessment and documentation practices, just to be more brought up in terms of what is required for the documentation process. But I know you've been working with Ms. King, and just to go back through and see where we need to make some adjustment. And probably just increased use of creative and interactive learning strategy. I know you've been employing some of those in the classroom, but because of the age group, then there's so much more, because again, we are a play-based institution, right? And just to continue to strengthen parent engagement and communication. So those are some of the things, and again, I say, we don't expect that you do it on your own, but we will make sure that whatever it is that you are required to come up to speed, then we will make sure that we put those in place. Okay, you've been here for 3 months. Any concern how you've been handling? Is there anything that you see we need to change?
I am here and I am telling you that the supportive teams is so, encouraging, and I admire all the positive feedbacks have encouraged me to go. And I have learned also from the staff, because we share each other ideas, and we establish each other information, or have a question, I would like to get some answer, you can turn to any other teachers and get information. So the supportive team have been, encouraging and, I get some good feedbacks and, I have no really questions, because as I said, the supporting team is very strong.
Alright. And we are keen on staff development, so if there's an area that you yourself notice that you need to have, more development, just bring it to our attention. We do have, from time to time, we have seminars, so we try to bring in the professionals, who can help to guide you in some of the areas that we know that we are not so strong with. So wherever you need, you think you need is support, alright? So, thanks again, continue to work hard, and continue to enjoy your time here with us.
And thanks again for having me.
Okay, alright, pleasure.